What's up, guys? Coach Vassar. Thank you for joining me with OTF Audio Daily Beats. As always, if you're new, thank you for tuning in. Listen to me talk about these workouts. If you find value in them, information is in the description to support me. I appreciate that. If you have any feedback, let me know. And always, if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me either on GroupMe or even on my Instagram. More than happy to answer questions that may arise. We're going to break down Monday, October 13th. This is the last workout before we see repeats. Then we go into Hell Week. It's going to be Monday. We're going to see power on the treads. 2G has no row-in. 3G does at an endurance focus. And then we're going to see strength on the weight floor. We'll talk about the 2G and then break down the 3G. So on the treads, we're going to see 4 power blocks. Each starts with a push base all out, then repeat without the base. And your goal is to try to match the all out and the push. On the next block, maintain or increase the all out and the push. Then on the weight floor, we're going to see drop sets of 4 major movements. Go heavy, then drop to a lighter weight, as many reps as possible. And then we finish with a core chipper, chipping away at reps as you go. You'll need benches out and dumbbells, no rowing in the 2G. So for the group that does start there, put a wipe out there. So as soon as our 3 minutes are done, wipe it down and then head on over to the floor. So treads, we're going to see 5 minutes for block 1, then it just trickles down by 15 seconds each one after that. So 5 minutes, 4:45, 4:30, 4:15. There's a 90-second walk recovery between each block. They all follow the same pattern. You kick it off with that push, base, all out. Sets the tone. You get a little bit of active recovery between the uncomfortable and the very uncomfortable. They have 45 seconds to catch their breath and then commit to using that same push and all out without base in between. So block 1, we'll start with a 75-second push, 45 base, 30 all out. Power walkers, 6% or greater. Joggers and runners, definitely 1 up to 2 over their base speed. Bikes and striders, keep them right around 3 gears over base. So as we chip away, they have room to grow. And then that 30-second all out is aggressive. Very uncomfortable, of course, but notice we'll see the heart rate kind of come up. During the base, it levels out a little bit, and then the all out starts climbing again. They get 45 seconds to walk. So if you break it down in terms of, hey, you just did 2.5 minutes, take the walk. It'll be good for you. So definitely make sure that they take that full 45 seconds, flat road, 1%, 3 or less on that speed. Then heart rate will start trending back up as they start that push before it starts peaking back up into the all-out effort. Once again, the goal is to maintain and repeat that push and the all-out they just did. As we move to the next block, push gets shorter, base gets longer, so there is that opportunity for them to increase the push, increase the all-out, either or both. And then same thing, walk recovery, and then 1 minute push, 30 all-out. Third block, 45, 75 base, 30 all-out, and then 45, 30. And then the final one, just 2 minutes of work there, 2.5 minutes of work with that 30 push, 90 base, 30 all out, walk recovery, and then push all out one last time. Biggest thing here with this power focus block is as we get into like the 3rd and 4th block, the push and the all out, it might narrow the gap if they are increasing the push and maintaining the all out. That's one way to add challenge to it. But of course, if they increase both of them, that's going to make the all out that much more challenging. Increasing the push will obviously pre-fatigue them before they hit that all out. When we look at the weight floor, block 1, 17 minutes and 15 seconds. It's 4 movements. Very simple, all about drop sets. You'll see chest press, goblet squat, high row, and a sumo deadlift. Nothing fancy here. Definitely want heavy weight for anywhere from 6 to 10 reps. They drop the weight by about 5 to 10 pounds, and then as many reps as possible. I coach this in the way of if you are going heavy, when we go lighter, how close to that heavy rep can we get? So if you got 8 with your heavy weight and you drop that weight, could we get another 5, 6, or 7? At the end of the day too, like even just 1 or 2 extra reps, that's a win. If you have people who can't find the weight that they need to use, you could always change up the tempo. So they'll do 6 to 10 with a standard tempo. Take like 5 seconds to mimic the transition of switching out their weights. And then how many slow reps can they do with that same weight? It's a great way to kind of mix it up and challenge them that way. We are alternating between upper body and lower body, which is nice. So as upper body works, lower body is recovering, and then same thing. When the lower body works, upper body recovers. Granted, there are some nuances to that, like the chest press. Technically, lower body is engaged. They should be planting their feet hard into the ground. Engagement of the hamstrings, the glutes, and the core to keep them stable on that bench. The goblet squat, same thing. Even though it's primarily lower body, holding that dumbbell up here, upper body engagement, core strength, all being used, which just makes each movement that progressively harder. That's why they do recommend resting after every drop set. For the high row, elbows flared out, hit the back of the shoulders. If that bothers people's lower back, you could do like a split stance and handle the bench high row, do drop sets that way, or they could do a drop set with the strap. And then so they'll do a strap high row. How close can they get to the wall for 6 to 10 reps? Take 2 or 3 steps back and then try to add more. But once again, if they are on the strap, be very mindful of the tautness, the tightness on the strap, as well as their positioning and their tempo. We don't want them flying up and then having that strap snap on them. It should be strong and very minimal wiggle to it. Final movement is the sumo deadlift, and then they'll repeat that pattern. With plenty of time here, once you get them set up, keep your eyes on them, because with the treads, there's so many quick intervals. You might not have too much time when it comes to the weight floor to help them out, especially when it comes to like spotting them for like the chest press. So just be aware of that. Now, once the treads finish block 3, that's when the weight floor shuts down. Then they have 4 minutes and 15 seconds for a core chipper. We're going to see 40, 30, 20, 10 reps. And then as a bonus, they just repeat whichever exercise they want for 10 reps each until the finisher. We're going to see the high plank alternating crossbody knee drive. So high plank position, knee to opposite elbow. If that small rotation bothers their hips, they could do like knee to the same elbow. Also, hands on the bench will make it more accessible and easier. Crunch hold flutter kicks, obviously getting that tightness in the abs. The floor seated torso rotation, you actually do use a dumbbell placed between the feet. And that's just to help anchor their feet down as they lean back to really feel those abs. A lot of times people with torso rotations, they just move the arms. We want to think about shoulders turning to get that engagement of the obliques. Okay. So if anything, have them like put their hands, thumbs on their shoulders, turn, reset, turn the other way. And then the final one is that reverse crunch. As a great alternative for that one, they can do a body weight crunch, but it's also about keeping that lower back stabilized and down. So you could have them go into a toe reach, so they're having the legs up and they're crunching up into it, or even dead bugs. If they finish all 10 reps of that reverse crunch, favorite exercise, they'll repeat until the finisher, which is a basic low plank for the final 30. All right, now looking at the 3G, we'll see 3 blocks on the treads, 1 long block on the floor, and then 1 long block on the rower as well. For the tread side, we're going to see the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th block from the 2G with one small change. The push, the all out, and the walks, or the push and the all outs are the same, but the base and the walk recoveries are different durations. So what we'll notice is the time of actual work. We're going to have 2 minutes and 15 seconds between the push, base, and all out. There's 30 seconds of a walk recovery, and then they'll go into their push all out. So for example, the first block on the 3G, it's a 1 minute push, just like in the second block of the 2G, but then instead of a 1 minute base, they only get 45 seconds. So the bases are shorter by 15 compared to the 2G format. Walk recovery is also 15 seconds shorter. So they only have 30 seconds to recover as opposed to 45. Since there's a shorter amount of time, we're definitely going to see a lot more reactive heart rate response. It's going to be elevated for much longer, and they only have 75 seconds between each block to get them ready before the next one. Same goal as before, maintain on the repeat, maintain or increase as you move to the next block. Row block, 1 long circuit. The goal here is to maintain the row intensity. They're going to start at a 100-meter push row. Then they're going to see 3 body weight plyometric movements. You have the 1, 2, 3 knee drive combo, crisscross jacks, and then the butt kicks. 12 reps for everything. and they're going to increase the row distance by 100. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 meters with the intention of maintaining row intensity. The call out here is start with a push, but a more conservative end of a push, like what they plan to use for 5 to 600 meters. A great metric to pay attention to, of course, is those average watts. So if people do have their OTB and they use their stored programs, once they finish that 100-meter push row, they'll rack their handles, they'll do their movements. When they strap back in and they start the next stored program for 200, that previous average watts will be displayed on that bottom row. Every time they drive back, try to keep their current watts at that average or slightly higher, and then they'll maintain the intensity. For people who don't have a heart rate monitor, I would recommend using split time, because at least that will give them a better gauge. Can they stay within like 1 to 3 seconds of their split time every round? Knowing that the distance increases by 100, every row should increase around 20 to 25 seconds. So if their 100-meter push row is about 20, 200 hopefully falls around 40 seconds, 60, so on and so forth. Of course, as they fatigue, that might not be the case. It may take them longer. They do finish with a all-out row, timed up with the treads during the last all-out of block 3. Weight 4, it is just the drop sets. So there's no core chipper, just the drop sets, those 4 movements until the finisher, which is any of the 4 dumbbell exercises for the final 30 seconds. So press, squat, high row, or sumo deadlift. And that is it. As always, any questions, any feedback, let me know. More than happy to help you out here. Other than that, coach it down.